What's going on with Wendy? What's going on with Wendy?
Wendy, can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me, and I just love your flashy ways. I guess that's why they're broken. You're so paid.
But before we can figure out what's going on with Wendy, what's going on with Wendy, we need to know exactly who Wendy is.
According to Wikipedia.com, Wendy Williams Hunter, Wendy Joan Williams, born July 18th, 1964, is an American former broadcaster, media personality, and writer, period, from 2008 to 2021, she hosted the nationally syndicated television talk show, The Wendy Williams Show. Hey, it took like 2 seconds too long for this thing to start. I want to get in and get out. You know how it go. This is LA, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. Oh, let me slow down because I still see I have more track to burn. And I'm going to say everything too fast and it's just going to be quiet. Thank you if you're watching this. You made it to a portion of the video, probably the 4-minute, 8-second mark. Thank you for doing that. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, yada, yada, yada. What is Elay TV? I don't know. Maybe you should watch it and see. Yeah, so right now we're covering celebrity news and things. Tomorrow we're probably covering cats and stuff. The next day after that we're probably talking about squirrels, stuff flying around in the sky. Whatever comes to mind. Durr! Yeah, that was durr! Thank you for watching. Durr! Hey, what's up? It's me, LA, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. Welcome back to another fabulous episode of Celebrity News and Things. Yes, what's going on with Wendy? Well, you know, word on the curb is, well, it's not even a word on the curb. It's been confirmed, and we are past it. Days into it, going around the corner, and I'm spinning the block and re-spinning the block on this story right here with Judge Mathis, Mathis, not to be confused with Matthews. We're talking about Judge Mathis versus the legendary Wendy Williams. It's back again, back again. It's coming back again, back again. Shouts out to Classic Throwback TV. That's Classic Throwback TV for putting up this glorious video to clarify, bonify, and personify the proof therein. Shout out to my husband Maurice Kelly Jr. for acting silly and inspiring me to say all these funny things sometimes, to bring back stuff from the recesses of my mind from the legendary In Living Color. In living color. So back to what I was saying, I want to pontificate on something right quick. You know, I did my homework this morning right here in the voice of Weezy, man. I did my homework right here, son. All right. Throwback Radio, Judge Mathis destroys Wendy, parentheses, in 2003. Once again, shouts out to Classic Throwback TV. The link to get to this video will be down in the description box because I got to citate where I get this stuff from, because if it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't be able to put this together so quickly. So as you know, this stuff rehashed back with, unfortunately, Judge Mathis getting in a divorce. Today it is currently Wednesday, September 18th. So I haven't read the feed to see if that's been amended. Have they decided to turn back the hands of time and throw out the divorce? But right now, in this present state, at 5:49 a.m. in the morning, Wednesday, September 18th, to my knowledge, that there is a divorce that has been filed by way of Judge Mathis' wife. So that's where we're going to stay. You're getting a divorce because all this yang coming up again, from which the legendary Wendy Williams said in 2003 that Judge Mathis was doing. You know, he was surfing around on greener pastures, then slipped up and had an accident, surprise, you know, wham on deck, this and that, yada, 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 you know, probably having a little too much fun, allegedly, with street pharmaceuticals. You know, so she brought that out. In addition to bringing that out in 2003, and it's resurgent today in 2024, the whole setup for this is because, you know, Judge Mathis, back in that time, came out with a book, okay? According to Amazon.com, the book first made its splashy debut October 1st, 2002. Shout out to 2002, because that's the year I graduated from high school, class of 02. So Judge Mathis came on the show. At the time, I don't think it was the Wendy Williams show. I did forget to put in that snippet, but I think according to the audio, by listening to it, it was her radio station. But set in stone, Wendy was live on the radio, live on the mic, right? Let's keep it like that. Wendy was live on the mic, talking to Judge Mathis, Judge Greg Mathis, about a book that he launched, okay, in 2002, according to what Amazon says. Inner City Miracle, okay? So, okay, you know, the book, he on there, he like, yeah, you know, I grew up, you know, I was in Michigan, you know, I was in trouble, you know, I ran them streets, you know, played cards, bingo, blackjack, dominoes, did a little thing, saw some, allegedly, street pharmaceuticals, you know, I was about that life like Lil Wayne before Lil Wayne. Then I got my act together because I only had two choices, biscuits or bullets. No, he only had two choices. It was to be locked up like Akon or get my GED. So I decided to get my GED, and he get ready to pat himself on the back as I strongly, loosely paraphrase and reenact this. My way, my way. Shout out Usher. Woo. Moving on. So, Judge, you know, I'm Judge Greg Mathis and stuff, you know. Judge Greg Mathis. And, you know, I was the youngest judge in Michigan. Pause. Bro, I didn't know he was from Michigan. No wonder he seems so familiar. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But since folks all tabloid-esque like to make assumptions, I need to make myself vividly and very clearly, concisely clear. What I mean by that is he seemed familiar because I'm born from Michigan. Practically born and raised all my life in Michigan, okay? So every time I saw him, I was like, why he seems so familiar? Had not known we from the same birthplace, birth state. And yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense because he reminded me of the people that I left behind in SAC and all that same attitude. And that's all I had to say about that. Nonetheless, we're from Michiganders, so yay on that, but nay on the rest. So Wendy have him on the show, right? Talking about his book, you know, how I changed my life, became the first youngest judge in Michigan, yeah. That's his other book he have right there. You'll see in the background. And then set the story out a little bit. Wendy Williams have her book out too. And Wendy's Got the Heat. And so before this interview even start up into where it gets heated on, no pun intended, but pun intended, rightfully so, Wendy sets up the whole thing by saying, you know, I'm Wendy Williams. I'm legendary, right? And so I just wrote this book. And according to Amazon, it came out in 2003. Wendy's Got the Heat. First publication date in 2023. So Judge was in 2002, right? And then hers is in 2003. They're neck and neck. So let's just say they came out at the same time because it was so close. His came out late in the year of 2002. And hers came out in 2003. So about the same time. So Wendy goes on to mention that in her book, she mentions, some of the things that she heard on the curb in these streets, you know, before YouTube was a thing. Bada bing, before folks start saying YouTube streets, Wendy was out in the streets for real, getting it the old-fashioned way, word of mouth, going to the parties, mingling with people. And what she found out, a little birdie told her back then, but back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all, but back then they wouldn't want me, now I'm hot, they all up back there. She found out back then in the early 2000s all of the details that had to do with, you know, Judge Mathis. And now they done did a resurgence, full circle, and here we are. And that's why we're talking about it, because Wendy didn't lie. And I like to say this. My husband and I were talking about Wendy Williams yesterday and how I felt bad for her currently because I wanted to listen to that whole interview and stuff again with her and Mathis. And when I first heard it in the early 2000s, I felt bad. I'm like, why is he going off on her like that? Why is he going off on her like that? That didn't make any kind of sense. I'm like, that's so unprofessional. Speed the camera up. Now I'm growing and stuff. I went through some things, and when I heard it again, you know, present time this year, 2024, I'm like, man, sounds like a guilty man all the way around, because I've been around somebody who got like that when I brought things up. I wasn't accusing in the way to be malicious. I was accusing and bringing the things in the way because I had proof. I'm like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Here's the proof. And then how it got turned around, and a said party that I was confronting started turning around and start biting my head off, throwing up all the dirt that I did. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's true. I own it. And you know that. Why are you doing that? Because, oh, you're deflecting because you're guilty. So you're getting really hostile. You went from 5 to 1 million real quick when I decided to stand up for myself. When I decided to speak out and be like, why are you doing this? This ain't right. I checked the books and you're absolutely wrong. You're not gonna get away with this. I'm gonna at least call it out while I see it, while I have it. But all you can do is bark and ring up my past. And I own it all. Okay, you're deflecting. I get it. So I knew this all too well. But I can say in the early 2000s, before life really tore me apart, I was still in, I think I was still in high school still, but, you know, a senior about to get ready to graduate soon. When I heard this, you know, on the show or whatever, I'm like, this dude is tripping. He's highly unprofessional. We'll make him get out of pocket like that. So I knew it was wrong then, and I didn't really have any life experience. And like I said, speed the camera up. It's been a couple of, to me, because I'm not going to try to do the math. It's been a couple of decades since this happened. But now that I think about it, it's been at least 10 years. Who knows? Let's just say a couple of decades, man. It's been some time and some change that's been between 2002 to 2024. And I hear it again, and I've lived some life. I'm like, this dude is deflecting. He is straight up guilty. Guilty of something. Let's leave it like that. For him to clap back and bring up everything he think allegedly Wendy was doing, like street pharmaceuticals. And you know, the termination of life. And so on and so on. Like that. Let's say everybody knew, but it was still wrong. That's the thing. So I'm going to leave it at that. I had a little fun. I did my best to do, I did my kind of best / best. Subcategory in best attempt, there's kind of best. I did my kind of best under the category of best reenactment on this. Because they both were talking at the same time. All I can say is Wendy set the tone. It was like, you know, in my book I wrote about some of the things that I heard that was going on with you. Wandering around, going around to green pastures and, you know, slipped up a gotcha one. Gotcha one meaning a child from an outside party. And additional things that she heard were written in her book, Wendy's Got the Heat. And that's when Judge came out of character and started throwing up things that stuff from Wendy's past and or present state allegedly at that time. My name is Elay, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. Enjoy this fun reenactment. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bobbity boop. Shout out Wendy, man. Oh yeah, another thing. I was telling my husband yesterday, because I got sidetracked. Even in the early 2000s, I'm like, why would Wendy say a lie about somebody and she lose her job that she worked so hard for? So, okay, yeah, she was messy for spilling the business, but I think it was true. Because like I said, why would she put her job on the line? And that's where we agreed on. That's where we left it at. All right, let's get into this reenactment. Because here on this show, whether it's TV or radio, one thing that Wendy Williams does is keep it real with our audience. Now my audience knows all about me and what I've been through. And what they don't know, I go into explicit details in my book. That might not be true according to you about this woman that you allegedly went on greener pastures with, if you know what I mean. And you allegedly got her prego. Dun, dun, dun. Cue Judge Mathis.
Hey, there you go, Wendy, there you go. Now I didn't read that part. Linda, listen, please, Linda, you're not listening. As I told you, I never used it or done any of that in my life. I never done that in my life. I've been running all my life. And so if you want to believe that ridiculous nonsense, you feel free to, but and if you want to keep fueling it with no one else even asks me about that knows it, that those tabloids print trash. But every week that people come up here, the hate people, they come up here with a tabloid talk about, I want to sell your story, and they'll buy, and that's the stuff you fuel on your show, Wendy. I didn't do it. I don't have nothing to do with that. I don't know the woman, never met that woman.
I'm not angry. She had it in the counter with me.
Talk about fueling your stuff.
Well, I was getting done doing done. Yeah, you been.
Those nasal passages you keep coughing up and as I told you, I never used it or done any of that in my life. I never done that in my life. All my life. I've been running all my life. And so, if you want to believe that ridiculous nonsense, you feel free to. But and if you want to keep fueling it with no one else even asks me about that knows it. Those tabloids print trash. But every week that the people come up here, the hate people,
They come up here with a tablet talk about, I want to sell your story. And they'll buy, and that's the stuff you fuel on your show, Wendy. I didn't do it. I don't have nothing to do with that. I don't know that woman, never met that woman, I never used her. Now let's talk about you. Let's talk about fueling your stuff. You on the other hand have admitted to being addicted to dun. Symptoms are as follows. Those nasal passages you keep coughing up and this internal call you continue to have and. That's about it, y'all, because he hit the bottom.
Boom, 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 boom,
TV,
boom,
LA TV,
boom, boom,
When
boom,
the TV, when you walk TV, listen when the TV, when you walk TV, watch LA TV, LA TV, listen LA TV, LA TV, listen LA TV, when you walk LA TV, when the car, when you walk LA TV, when the car, when you walk LA TV, when the car, LA TV, LA TV, listen LA TV, LA TV. Watch LA TV, LA when the car, listen LA TV, LA when the car, when you walk TV, LA when the car, watch LA TV, LA when the car, listen LA TV, when you in the car, TV, watch LA TV, LA TV, when you walking.